We now have the Hollister School District Board. These are 2 4-year terms. If we could please have the candidates take a seat. We'll go ahead and get started with the opening statement for 30 seconds. Elizabeth Martinez.
Says Rob Bernosky.
Who is it?
We'll go ahead and get started with Robert Bernosky. Thank you very much for your patience.
Well, thank you very much. Listen, if you think Hollister schools are just doing great, I'm not the person to vote for. I don't believe that Hollister schools are preparing the kids for the high school. And I'm different in the fact that I'm not afraid to say that, but I'm also an active participant in finding solutions, and I'm not afraid to follow the data or do whatever's necessary to get to where we need to be. My name's Rob Bernosky. I want your vote because I am the one that truly, truly cares about all of the kids in the San Benito County and how they're going to do and how they're going to be prepared for the high school. Please vote for me, Rob Bernosky. Thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth Martinez, your 30 seconds of your opening statement, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Martinez, and I'm running for re-election for the Hollister School District. I'd like to say that both Mike and I have been honored with the endorsement of the teachers and the classified union. I've lived in this community for 46 years. I am privileged to live and work in this beautiful community. I have 20 years of experience working in education. I work for the Migrant Education Program at San Benito High School, where I have served our migrant families for the last 15 years. I think that's it.
Thank
right?
you. Thank you. Mike Baldwin, your 30 seconds for opening statement, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit about me. My name is Mike Baldwin, and I was appointed to the Hollister School District Board a year ago. In that year, I have learned that the school board trustee is a calling. It is a calling to servitude. I am ready to serve this community for the next 4 years and respectfully ask for your vote in doing so. And in doing so, I will continue to give 100% to serve the Hollister School District staff and our great community and these amazing children. Thank you.
Thank you. Question number 1. As a board member, what do you think is the most important part of elementary education, and how can you impact that? Elizabeth Martinez, 90 seconds for your response.
As a board member, I think for this community, our elementary education is the foundation of how our students are learning. And so to provide that level of experience and that connection with our students, either with our staff, of course with our staff, because they're the ones making the biggest influence in our children's lives on a daily basis. There are role models, and so education is the onset of what they're going to become as people. And so it is an important part. Education will play the most important part in their lives and will determine their future. So for me, being a part of that, coming to this country from Mexico, being an English learner, I know what it is to struggle in school and to have people that care about you and will direct you and help you throughout your education. It's probably one of the best things that I could be a part of. I'm honored and I'm privileged to be on this board with 4 other amazing group of people that have the same vision and dedication to our students. And I would like to continue doing that for the Hollister School District.
Thank you. Robert Bernosky, your response to the same question, would you like me to repeat it?
No, I've got it. No, I've got it. Thank you. So clearly, the most important part of an elementary education is the teachers in the classroom. I can be a school board member, you can have a principal, but it's what's happening in the classroom that is most important. Right along with that is, we have to get the children to grade level as quickly as possible. I have a great deal of experience with this. Spring Grove School is probably the top school in this county, but it wasn't always that way. In fact, the reason I was on the school board out there was because my wife one day came home as a teacher, crying, said she was no longer going to teach there, and we were going to homeschool the 3 children. Well, I said, no, we moved here because you wanted to be in the school district, so I ran for school board, and I won. And immediately we started out on laying out a vision and doing things like our reading and math academies and focusing on those kids that weren't at grade level and getting them there. You heard Frank Murrow talk about the last California Distinguished School here in the county, North County. Well, I was part of that program. Just imagine if we got every single Hollister School District school to be like the rural schools, how we would have people coming here for our education system. So what I'm fighting for is for the teachers to be the solution, for us to ask them what they need, and then to implement what they need. Give them the resources. If we do that, Hollister School District will be a great school district. But pretending that it isn't
Thank you.
is not a solution.
Thank you very much. Your time is up. Mike Baldwin, your 90-second response to the same question, please.
Thank you very much. How many of you have ever had a child come home and you've had to ask them to fix your phone? Or fix your computer? Or show you how to play a video game with them? Our technology is going forward. We're not going to go back. It's just going to continue to progress. And we are in the process as a school district of making our teachers, getting our teachers advanced enough so that they can teach our children in this community the technology to go forward. We're already doing that. We are already well ahead of the curve in that within the state. Technology is so important. And we have these fresh molds of clay. And these teachers are amazing in what they do for these students and how they take this clay and turn them into knowledgeable students that are ready to go on. And now, further that, our technology is going to be transferable to the high school. So that anything you've done as a elementary school student or junior high student, you can see your progress as a high school student. And that A to G that the high school is now doing, we're preparing them to get into that mold. Thank you.
Thank you. Question number 2 for 90-second response. What steps would you suggest to improve our students' skills in reading and math so that they can be successful in their higher learning environments? Robert Bernosky?
Well, listen, I have to say, I'm not an educator, but I am married to a great educator. And my oldest daughter is an educator, and our second oldest daughter is getting her teaching credential right now. And I have, my mother-in-law was a teacher, and my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law are teachers. I have to rely on the educators to tell me what they need. But what I do know is we have to stop this promoting kids, social promotions. If they're not at the second grade reading level, then we can't promote them up to the third grade, okay? If, we discuss this a great deal. You learn to read from kindergarten to third grade. From there on out, you read to learn. So again, what I'm looking for is the teachers to do assessments and then to tell the superintendent, this is where my classes are, this is what we have to do, and then coming to the school board and asking for those resources. So I apologize for not being an educator, but I know where to go to, and that is the educators. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike Baldwin, your response to the same question?
Thank you. Assessments, assessments, assessments. Putting staff in the right spot that the students at the right age level will learn. If you have a first grade teacher and she should be a fourth grade teacher, we need to assess that. If you have students that are underperforming maybe because they're English learners or because they're migrant, we need to assess these things and bring them up and lift them up. We need to set every student up to succeed, okay? And by doing that through assessments and through, bringing the ELs, the English learners, we can get that curve so that we're within that range where they need to be. Our teachers are doing fantastic, okay? They are so willing to learn, and You're going to hear a little bit more about Google Classroom as we get further into this, but it is amazing where we're going with these students and these teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth Martinez, your response to the same question, please.
Thank you. For me, I think the implementation of the professional learning communities, we have increased professional development days, introduced strategic teaching models, all of these in efforts to give our teachers the skills that they need to learn how to teach our kids with the new Common Core. That is, a new program, a new way of teaching that teachers have to learn. And so we have to give them the tools to be successful in the classroom. And by being able to equip them with those tools and giving them the support to translate that into a model where they can introduce it in the classroom to do better reading, to do strengthening math, and collaborating, I think, with even our charter school has given us the ability to look at models that are successful and looking at collaborating with them to start introducing some of those things that are being successful in other models. So I think the openness of our teachers, the willingness that they have to learn is really going to help translate over to our students so that they become better learners because they're going to become better teachers.
Thank you. Question 3 for a 90-second response. There is a long waiting list for students who would like to attend the dual language school in Hollister. What do you think about expanding dual language programs in Hollister School District? Mike Baldwin?
Thank you. Considering it is such a huge success, that is something as a board we need to look into. We need to look into these successful programs, the things that we're seeing, the students succeeding, the teachers thriving, the students thriving. We need to look into making it more than 500 students, making it a whole school, its own campus, giving it its own room to grow and have its own heartbeat. And it is an amazing school. I am there quite frequently. The students, when they come in, are scared that are English only, because there's days that the entire class, the entire school speaks only Spanish. And after a month and a half, you hear them, and you hear, and they're excited to learn, and they're learning at such a rapid rate, and their minds are so impressionable at this age. It is a great school, and I would think it would be a great idea to see it and similar programs grow.
Thank you. Robert Bernosky, your response to the same question?
I believe that the HDLA and programs like that should be allowed to grow as large as the demand fits. But here's the problem. First of all, it's not good enough just to be a teacher that can speak Spanish. You have to be able to teach the curriculum in Spanish, and that's quite a different level. So a problem that you have with growing those problems too large is you don't have enough qualified teachers that can do it. So you have to keep that in mind when growing those programs, because the success that it enjoys right now will not be the same if you double it in size because you don't have the teachers available to teach that particular curriculum. The second thing is I'm an advocate for the average and the below average student. My kids did great. They did fantastic in the public schools here. They really did. But they had over-involved parents and people that, my wife and I sat down with the kids every night, had dinner with them, and made sure they did their homework and stuff. But that's not the majority of Hollister households. So if we're going to put resources in and improve the whole system, you can't expand those programs to such a point that the average and the below average students are going to suffer even more. It's those students that are not getting the education they need. The top students, the parents that fight to have their kids in the HDLA and the AAA, of course their kids are going to succeed. They absolutely will. But that's not a majority of the population. That's about 15% of any school population. So again, if the school district can afford it and have the same level of teacher in there that gets the same results, great. But not at the expense of the average student.
Thank you. Elizabeth Martinez, your response to the same question, please.
We've had a long waiting list for that particular school for quite some time now. And I think that was part of the reasoning, the need for our Measure M, which helped us modernize and update some of our aging facilities. HDLA being one that needed to be expanded due to the increased interest that we had from our community. That was something that was very clear in soliciting input from the community of what they wanted. As a board member, that's my goal, is to collaborate, to work together with our community. I hope we can do that a little bit closer so that we don't have to be struggling trying to find the means to house our students. Right now we have a lot of schools that are impacted, HDLA being one of them. And so we had, with these, with the Measure M funds, we were able to expand it. Does it need to be its own school? Probably. But at this point, we don't have anywhere to put it. So we're faced with the challenges of just doing what we can for now. We will continue to work with our community to offer what they feel is important to them and their children. And so with that, it's just hopefully keeping in mind what the needs are of education in this community and always making sure that our kids come first.
Thank you. We will now move on to closing statement. Mike Baldwin.
Boy, I had a minute and a half planned, so get ready for your ears. Watching a child's eyes light up when he or she understands something new, especially a subject they were struggling with, or having my daughter's smile light up the Rancho gym as she was playing her first junior high basketball game just 2 days ago, or seeing any one of our many highly qualified teachers excited to get to school so they can teach. As a board member, a family in our community, or a dad with a child in our district, I see these things happen frequently at all district sites. I will continue to work towards that for all students and staff. How will I do this? Putting every child at the center of my decision making. Tirelessly working to make sure our teachers, secretaries, custodians, and all support staff are valued and treated as such. The relationship with HESTA, which is our teachers, and the CSEA, which is our support staff, is a healthy working relationship. They've already admitted that they trust Elizabeth and I by giving us a vote of confidence for this election. By being fiscally responsible with your tax dollars, setting all children up for success through positive discipline. What you can count on is me to serve our community and to make sure that every child succeeds. Thank you, and I respectfully ask for your vote because of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's like, go.
Elizabeth
ready.
Martinez, your
Deep breath.
1 minute closing statement, please.
Thank you. For the last 4 years, I was entrusted with the health and welfare of the Hollister School District and its employees. It has been the hardest yet most rewarding thing I have ever done. I have been committed to being fair, honest, compassionate, and transparent. I believe in being proactive and soliciting opinions from our community, employees, and other stakeholders when making board decisions. I have been committed to being fiscally responsible and accountable to ensure that our educational dollars are utilized appropriately. I am ready to continue rolling up my sleeves and finish what we have started. I want to read a quote from our superintendent. The most important thing we work to is inspire extraordinary achievement in adults who will work in our district and the students who attend our district. This is why we do what we do. I want to thank the Farm Bureau and my community, and I respectfully ask for your vote on November 8th. Thank you.
Thank you. Robert Bernosky, your 1 minute closing statement.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here and listening. I'm here to ask for your vote, and I sincerely do that. Listen, I want to clear something up here. I don't want you to be impressed by the union endorsement. If you think the endorsement comes because the teachers want change, that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it because it will be the status quo, and I want to change the status quo. This is all about the agenda. If I'm elected to the board, what I hope to do is change the agenda so that the academic outcomes of each school make up 75% of the agenda. I have to tell you, at the last school board meeting, they ran by test results very quickly. It was very tiny print. I couldn't read the printed copy or what was on the screen. And they took no action. They didn't say, well, what are we going to do about these lackluster results? But when it came to something personal to them, where they were going to lose their health benefits, they voted themselves a salary so that they could keep their health benefits. Problem, solution. No, it's not a lie. We need that same action on the academic outcomes. Problem, they're not getting the education they need. Solution, put it on the agenda.
Thank you very much. Thank you for answering our questions and for being here.
Thank you, guys.